goals for this week are to wake up, put my underwear on, and take a deuce. I think at this point, everybody knows that Amber's just going to do what she wants to do, so what's the point of even arguing with her? That's because it's the audience's fault or it's Beck's fault. Well, if you can't tell by my ridiculous face in this ridiculous video, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. Nothing here is meant to be taken seriously whatsoever. I'm just sharing my own opinions, not facts, off of publicly accessible information first made public by public figures. Please do not go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to leave some mean comment to Amber, you can leave it on my page. Y'all, this is not your average reaction. I recently shaved my beard because I got a hydrofacial and, I want to get my money's worth, so I wanted them to clean below the beard. So sometimes I'm with beard, sometimes I'm with mustache. I'm rarely without facial hair, though. Anyway, so I'm just a guy who likes to react to fitness content, usually girl world. And it looks like there's something Amber has to tell us in her weigh-in episode 4. So without further ado, I give it to you, Malplix.
Hello. Welcome to another weekly weigh-in. So let's get into the 5 questions. What kind of coping skills are you using during times where you want to overeat? So there's a few that I use, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's all about practice. So sometimes I
Keeping yourself busy.
set an alarm for about 10 minutes and I kind of just sit with the feeling, and sometimes it passes. I journal about how I'm feeling to figure out why do I want to overeat, because usually there's an underlining reason. It's not just
You don't, and if she's actually doing these things, big credit to her, because this is a positive thing that you can definitely do. It's not something that you necessarily have to journal about. You can just ask yourself deeper questions and try to answer them as honestly as possible. And why am I hungry right now? Why do I feel the need to overeat? Just ask yourself these questions, and if the answer ain't good enough, then why are we doing the behavior?
love to eat. For me, there's definitely something underlining. And sometimes journaling about that distracts me, and it helps me be wow, I actually don't think I need food. I distract myself with things that make me happy, like my fur babies. I watch something on YouTube. I watch a TV show. I do my Legos, things like that. Sometimes I will literally remove myself from wherever I'm at. I also do this when I get extremely anxious, and sometimes that also helps then too. So for an example, say I'm just sitting in my living room and all of a sudden I just have this overwhelming urge to order DoorDash. Sometimes I'll literally just stand up and remove myself. I'll go in the kitchen, clean a couple dishes, or I'll just be hey Twinkie, do you want...
You're just bored, genuinely. You need to fill your day with things that keep you busy. Otherwise, you're going to probably make bad choices.
Go outside, or I'll go into my room. I'll literally just remove myself. These things are definitely easier said than done. You just have to be kind to yourself and patient. And it's like that muscle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Why do you watch healthy eating content? So it's not something that I search out, but if it pops up and I happen to see it and I don't skip through it, it's usually because it's motivating me to be healthier. I love a good meal idea. I need inspiration in that area. Does Mama Lynn ever discourage you from making bad food choices? No, because I think she also understands. She does sometimes try to encourage me to cook more instead of ordering takeout as much. Why didn't you know you had...
I think at this point, everybody knows that Amber's just going to do what she wants to do. So what's the point of even arguing with her? Because then, if you're Amber's mom, now you're going to create, a terrible relationship with your daughter, who's most likely going to, in a few years,
hyperthyroidism in the past. So usually your doctor decides what labs they want done based on the things that you guys talk about. That appointment was very...
I get blood work done every year. It gets on my phone. I don't know if thyroid is something that they check regularly. I did ask them to check it this time. I I'm gonna have to look back and see if thyroid is a regular thing that they check. I think it is more common with women than men, possibly. My mother does have hypothyroidism, the one where it's easy for you to gain weight. But she's not 600 pounds. She's actually a normal healthy weight.
Very hyper focused on weight loss because I was talking to him about Zepbound and I was telling him about how difficult it was for me to lose weight. Like he knows about my lipedema, my lymphedema, my menopause, hysterectomy, etc., etc. He knows about all that, but he was like, "When's the last time you've had your thyroid checked?" And I was like, "When I was 15," because I
And that statement right there is super duper annoying because I personally remember videos of her or clips of her in her live saying, "Yeah, I've gotten my thyroid checked. I get my thyroid check all the time. Don't worry." Because, one of the most common things, like as a personal trainer, when you have a client that says that they're, doing the exercise, doing the diet, but they're not losing the weight, one of the biggest reasons I say I need you to go get blood work done, please contact your primary care physician, is because I want to make sure that they don't have some sort of thyroid or issue, hormonal imbalance, high levels of cortisol, which, I don't think cortisol by itself is going to cause someone to overeat, but it can affect the way that you sleep, which can affect the way that your body looks. This girl's wearing me out today.
is the last time. And when I had it checked when I was 15, like it was fine. And he was like, "Oh, we should probably check that." So that's the only reason why we checked it. And turns out, yep, hypothyroidism. Why do you look at yourself when you're eating on camera? So I think it's just a
Why is she doing the like the thing that like middle school girls did in whenever I was in middle school? I'm literally 30 years old. Why is she doing that when she's talking about her thyroid? Because typically when people do it's like they're like bragging. Like, look at the fucking smile on her face, dude. This is such BS.
natural habit that us YouTubers have. I don't like watching myself eat. It's nothing weird like that. It's kind of just like,
Why is she even addressing this? How would you even know if you're looking at yourself? Like,
where should our eyes go? So let's talk about the goals that I had last week. It was to keep a food journal and to take my medication. And I did both of those things. I noticed that keeping a food
my goals for this week are to wake up, put my underwear on, and take a deuce. And I completed that all this week.
journal, I do eat a little bit more than like my
I'm sorry, I'm just like not in the mood today. Like, I do think people, like, if you're going through a health journey, you should definitely meet yourself where you are. But I don't have sympathy for Amber because I've been seeing this for years and it's just total crap.
body feels, because I'm telling you, at night I'm like, "Oh my god, why am I so hungry?" Blah blah blah. I was able to look at my journal and be like, "Well, you kind of ate a decent amount, so why are you hungry, Amberlyn?" But if it wasn't for me having the journal, I wouldn't have had that answer. In my brain, I would have been like, maybe I didn't eat much today. Let's have something else. So it was
And this is why you need inpatient or like severe counseling. You don't have hunger signals that are normal. You need help. The hunger that you feel isn't because you're like eating yourself and dying, right? You can go at least a full day without eating anything but drinking water and taking vitamins, and you would be just fine. Just fine.
nice to have that awareness throughout the week. And then taking my meds on time and when I'm supposed to, it's been really easy because I got a pill organizer. So my goals for this week is 1, keep up with the medicine, and 2, start using my Owala water bottle. So I finally drank the rest of my actual like plastic water bottles that you buy at the store. And I bought a reusable water bottle that I can use. And so I've been drinking 2 water bottles a day, sometimes 3, but usually 2. And that's about 30 ounces of water. But my Owala is 40 ounces. So my goal is literally just to drink one of those a day and then eventually move on to two. Now I'm going to talk about how my week went. So some days were better than others.
Look, I just want to say that I do like the way that she talks about progressing her drinking water. I don't think drinking water has a lot to do with her losing weight, but it definitely does help, keep you hydrated so you're not cramping and you have regular decent bowel movements, etc., etc.
Because the beginning of this week, I was having a lot of mental health. I have been having a lot of mental.
She's been having a lot of mental health. I mean, like, we know what she means when she says this because, like, I speak Amber's language because I've been watching her for years. She's meaning she's going through something negative, but, like, a normal person would be like, man, I'm just having a bad mental health day. Like, I am not being kind to myself right now. Like, something like that. Not, I have mental health. Like, that's just such a neutral statement, okay?
Health days that have been really low. And I have been, like, catching myself not really caring about the food that I'm putting in my mouth. Yes, I am trying harder. Yes, I'm also adding healthier foods to my diet, but there are some days where I definitely emotionally ate. So if I am being quite frank with you guys, I'm noticing that I'm not being as transparent or as vulnerable or as open as I would like to be in my weigh-in videos or my what I ate today videos.
And that's because it's the audience's fault or it's Beck's fault.
There are things that I want to say, there are things that I want to talk about, but I'm not. I have the biggest wall up, like literally, it is made of the toughest brick you've ever been able to like get your hands on.
I can't roll my
eyes harder. It is made of metal. It is 1,000,000 feet high and 1,000,000 feet wide. Like, you can't get past it. And I genuinely think it's because of all the backlash that I receive. My issues with my weight, my struggles with food, my issues with my mental health, and my struggles with how that reflects in my food, whether it be due to trauma or just issues that I have in general, it is not perceived in the way that it should be. People are too harsh, too mean.
Why do you care about how you are perceived? Why? You make videos of yourself and you put your entire life on YouTube. And if you also simultaneously want to care about what everybody thinks, you're going to have a terrible time. And yeah, it looks like you're blaming your audience for something that is your fault.
Too cruel, and it's pushing me away without a doubt. So I am thinking about stopping the weigh-in videos, and I'm thinking about stopping the what I ate today.
Nobody cares, to be honest with you, because they're nothing videos. They're just fake. You don't step on the scale. You've been losing the same and gaining the same like 2 to 3 pounds for the last like 10 weeks. It's like, yeah, honestly, I guess you should stop because something's not working.
Videos, it's something that I truly have to think about and decide, because I need to protect the little bit of sanity that I do have. I'm just not met with kindness in an area of my life that is not impacting anyone besides myself. I can't imagine ever being mean to someone or cruel to someone or saying harsh things to someone that is just simply struggling and documenting that online. Regardless, let's get into the actual weigh-in. So last week I was 516.0 and this week I'm 513.8, so I'm down.
And she's gonna be like, she's like, yeah, it's not that much, but I'm kind of proud of myself. I might be holding on to some fluids. I might be a little swollen, but like, it's whatever.
2.2 pounds. I'm not mad about it because I did have a little bit of a fluctuation last week. This might be a fluctuation this week. Who knows? Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Honestly, I can't even do a synopsis on this video because it's so short and pointless. She just answers a few questions, tells us that she weighs like 2 pounds less than she did last week, and then moves on. She does mention that she's probably not going to make any more weigh-in or what I eat today videos because she's having bad mental health.